whispers in the vents. I don't know why I'm writing this. Maybe if I put it into words, it'll feel less real. Maybe if I convince myself it was just a dream, I can finally sleep again. It started 3 nights ago. I live alone in a small apartment. Nothing fancy, just enough space for me. It's an old building, the kind where the pipes groan at night and the walls are thin enough to hear your neighbors arguing. I thought that's all it was at first, just the usual nighttime noises. Then I heard the whispering. At first I assumed it was from the apartment next door, but the voice was too close, too clear. It wasn't muffled through walls, it was coming from inside my room, inside the vent. I froze in bed, heart pounding. The voice was low, almost playful, but I couldn't make out what it was saying. Just a soft, rasping whisper curling through the slats of the air vent near the ceiling. I told myself I was imagining it. Lack of sleep, a trick of the wind, something normal. I forced myself to close my eyes, to breathe. But the whispering didn't stop. Last night it got worse. I woke up to the sound of something moving in the vents. A dragging, shuffling sound, like something was crawling through the ducts. My breath caught in my throat. I stared at the vent, barely able to see in the dim glow from the streetlights outside. Then I saw it. 2 fingers, long, thin, impossibly pale, curled around the edge of the vent's slats. They tapped against the metal, slow and deliberate. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. The fingers curled further around the slats, as if something on the other side was testing them, testing if they were loose enough to remove. And then, clear as day, I heard it. I know you're awake. I didn't sleep after that. I spent the rest of the night with every light on, watching the vent, waiting for those fingers to return. They didn't. But tonight, as I write this, I hear the whispering again, louder this time, closer. And just now, the vent cover slid open. The thing at my window. I don't know why I woke up. There was no noise, no nightmare, just a sudden jolt, like my body knew something was wrong before my mind did. I lay still, listening. My bedroom was silent except for the faint hum of my fan. Outside, the street was quiet, the kind of eerie stillness that only happens in the dead of night. Then I heard it. A soft tap, tap, tap against my window. My breath caught in my throat. I live on the 2nd floor. There's no tree near my window, no ledge someone could stand on. There shouldn't be anything there. Slowly, I turned my head toward the window. My blinds were closed, but in the dim glow of the streetlights outside, I could see the outline of something. Someone, standing just behind them. A shadow. I told myself it had to be a trick of the light. Maybe a branch swaying in the wind. Maybe my half-asleep brain playing tricks on me. Then the tapping came again. Tap, tap, tap. But this time it wasn't random. It was rhythmic, like it wanted me to notice, like it wanted me to react. I stayed frozen, heart hammering, as the shadow moved. It didn't step away. It leaned closer. I could see the faint shape of a hand pressing against the blinds, fingers splayed out. Then, slowly, the fingers curled. I don't know why, but I couldn't stop myself. I reached for my phone, moving as quietly as I could. My hands were shaking as I turned on the flashlight and aimed it at the window. For a split second, I saw it. A face, pale, twisted, grinning. And then, nothing. The second the light hit, the shadow vanished. No footsteps, no sound, just gone. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I kept the light on, my back pressed against the wall, staring at the window until the sun finally came up. When morning came, I forced myself to check outside. There was no ladder, no footprints, nothing to suggest someone had been there at all. But when I looked closer, my stomach turned to ice. There were handprints on the glass, from the inside. The man in the keyhole. I don't know why I woke up. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was something else. I live alone in a small apartment. Nothing special, just a single bedroom with a tiny living space. The kind of place where the walls are thin and every sound seems louder at night. But last night it was silent. Too silent. Then I heard it. A faint shuffling sound outside my door. At first I thought it was my neighbor coming home late, but the footsteps didn't move down the hallway. They stopped, right outside my door. I held my breath, listening. Then came the whisper. "I know you're in there." My skin crawled. The voice was low, almost amused. I didn't move, didn't even breathe. Maybe if I ignored it, it would go away. Then, softly, tap, 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 fingertips drumming against the wood. I reached for my phone, but my hands were shaking. No messages, no calls. The time read 3:12 a.m. I had to check. I don't know why. Maybe I thought it was a prank. Maybe I just needed to see. I crept toward the door, every floorboard groaning beneath my weight. Slowly, I lowered myself to the ground and pressed my eye against the keyhole. Darkness, but no. There was something there. A shape. A figure standing unnaturally still as if waiting. Then, suddenly, an eye. A bloodshot, unblinking eye staring directly into mine. I recoiled, heart pounding. The knocking started again, louder, more frantic. "Let me in." I scrambled back, reaching for my phone. My vision blurred with panic as I tried to dial 911. The knocking stopped. Silence. I waited. Minutes passed, maybe an hour. Then, a whisper right against the door. "You're lucky the door was locked." I didn't sleep after that. I sat in the corner of my room, waiting for the sun to rise. When morning finally came, I forced myself to check the peephole again. Nothing. But as I stepped back, my stomach turned to ice. There, on the wood, just beneath the keyhole, long, deep scratches, like someone had been trying to dig through.